I've been experimenting again with Filmic Pro. It's been compatible with the iPhone 6 Plus for quite some time, but for a number of reasons I find it slightly limiting. I think it's a really great app, but its file management for the sort of things I do is quite annoying. I mean, it creates 10 gigabyte files quite often if I do a 40-minute interview, and then that can be quite annoying to manipulate. So I guess I was going to try putting Filmic Pro kind of into an Apple mode. So let's have a look at that. So if we go to settings, there's no existing presets I've done. This is basically, as it comes out of the box, as it were, being downloaded. So I really want to, for broadcast, really want to doing 25 or 30. I mean, I typically do web stuff, so 30 is good for me. So we had a 30 FPS there. Ignore the rest of the settings there. The resolution, yeah, that's good. Now, although you do generally get a better picture at 32 megabit, you also get much bigger files. I don't know if it results in any extra battery usage, because I mean the Apple standard is probably going to be the most energy efficient as well, because it might be using a hardware codec, whereas the other settings may or may not be. I have no idea. So we can leave the rest, blah 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 blah. The other thing I want to do, audio is uncompressed, and although audio files uncompressed are not huge, doing a 40-minute take, that still adds to the size of the file, which you've then got to pull off. I don't use iTunes, I use something called iExplorer, and it still just takes forever. So again, primarily for me, a smaller file size is preferable. And that's about it, really. I mean, that should set you up with a default kind of Apple shooting. You can see there 30p, 24 megabit, 48 kilohertz AAC, which is the audio compression, which really, it's not terrible, believe it or not. And there we go. Like I say, I really like the app, but I really don't like too much the file management options, because it can't save to the camera roll. If I just do a quick video here. There's no option to save to the camera roll, so you have to do it all from in here. I mean, I like this information. I like the fact it tells you information about the file. But when it comes to sharing, I can't upload to YouTube. Now I know, potentially, you can have an extension. You can, if YouTube had an extension, you could turn it on. So it's not really the app's fault, but nonetheless, it's still kind of annoying. There's lots of cloud options, which is good. But like I say, the ultimately, I have to end up exporting to the camera roll, which I can't even remember how to do it now. So I think the quickest way, press edit, and then this icon looks suspiciously like the camera roll. Oh, no clip selected. That would obviously help. So edit, big tick over there. one clips will be copied, and you see again it's copied, not moved. So you need twice the space because it's it's going to be all over the place. That was quite a small file, so it didn't take very long. But if you've got a bigger file, a 40-minute take at 5 gig or something, it's going to take a while. And not only will you need, you will need 5 gig or more, probably more, available on your camera roll, on your native phone storage. And it's just, I just find it irritating. So it's a great app, but for me, one thing that time after time stops me using it is the fact I can't be that agile with it. But maybe I'll change my habits. I am trying. Like I say, part of that is to have it create files which are at least as good as the native camera app, and setting it to the Apple codec settings should ensure that certainly the files are no bigger than what the native camera app would create. And I am actually filming this actual video with Filmic Pro on my other phone. So what I'm going to have to do now to get it onto YouTube is to export it to my camera roll and upload it from there, which is kind of an unnecessary time-consuming step. It's it's a first world problem, I agree, but nonetheless, in the so-called third world, where lots of people there have mobile equipment, they're going to be just as annoyed by it. I mean, I would suppose it's still time, and it's unnecessary time. But other than that, I'm going to use Filmic Pro now for a few of my interviews and see how we go.